Hello, it is I, Dr. Brian Lorgon 111, and welcome back to Void Stranger, where, if I've calculated things correctly, this is episode 100 of the playthrough. And I guess episode 101 of the playlist, because I had a lore episode in the middle, and there'll eventually gonna have to be another one of them, I'm sure. But in any case, I was taking a look at some statistics, because it's not that often that I have a Let's Play that goes to episode 100. There's definitely been a few. But by the time I finish recording this episode, I will have played 111 hours of this game, which is very appropriate for Dr. Brian Dorgun 111. And I was looking in terms of like all-time game time. At 111 hours, this currently places this game in 11th place in terms of hours played on Steam. And it's about to crack the top 10. And because I know people will ask, I'll just go ahead and read off the list of my top 10 games in terms of hours played on Steam. Terraria, Rogue Legacy 2, Rogue Legacy, Spelunky, Baba Is You, Spelunky 2, Stardew Valley, Hollow Knight, Forager, and Bug Fables. Those are the 10 that are ahead of Void Stranger. And Bug Fables is only a couple hours ahead, and so it's about to be knocked out of the top 10. So yeah, I'm getting pretty good value out of this $12 game. So I just wanted to go ahead and start things off with that. That said, 100 hours in, we are finally about to finish something in the game, one presumes. Because I have found the screen. I should put up a screenshot of like the Picross puzzle that I solved from last time. But this is the screen here on Basement 217. And it appears that our final memory shard is right there. Secrets! Okay. So let's see if anything happens. Nothing like immediately happens. Obviously there's no achievement for it. There's only one achievement in this game, and I got it a long time ago. Suppose I go into memories. Do I get anything other than seeing 128 out of 128? There is another one. It costs 55. Okay. I knew there kind of had to be. This game is very good at rewarding you for exploration and going the extra mile to like try out weird game mechanics and combinations of things or whatever. And they also just like having tons of art and content, and so it only makes sense that there would be more art in here somewhere, and this is a fine place to hide it. So what am I going to get a picture of? Honestly, I have no idea. Maybe something from B and Sif's story, maybe something from Dis, maybe something that's going to explain all the lore that I still can't put together. It's fine if not all the lore gets explained, by the way. Like, I enjoy just the mystery and the weirdness and making speculations. I'm one of those weird people who really enjoyed, if you've seen the Matrix movies or whatever, like the second and third movies in that series, I really enjoyed. Because like you watch the second movie and like just trying to like piece together the lore and figure out where it was going or whatever, and most people like really didn't like that movie. So I'm enjoying that aspect of this story. But let's see what we uncover with the final photo here. Per aspera ad astra. Dis. Oh, this was totally worth it. So on the far left is Dr. Lily. In the center with dark hair looks almost like gray. How many of them are there? There are 8. There's always 8 of everything. On the far right is the person that we see in the view screen who was arguing with Dr. Lily. Can I identify any of the rest? Someone looks like they have an eye patch near the right. Actually, hold on. I cannot bring my mouse cursor thing feather in here. There is... It's gray like in the middle with the dark hair, but... It's like got her face, but not exactly her body shape. And also the person just to the left of the dark hair reminds me a little bit of the person that we saw in the secret bonus area. Um, the person to the left of her, however, the man up there, has a face that kind of reminds me of Mon, but it might just be because of the squinty eyes, and Mon wouldn't open his eyes unless he was trying to turn someone to gold. And the person to the left of them has a round open mouth, I guess because they're yawning, but it also could be someone who is eating something, which would be potentially. Like, I wonder if I can associate all of these with Void Lords. And then to the right of the dark haired person in the middle looks. I mean, it's just kind of the long white hair that makes him look vaguely Johannish, but not really all that Johannish, actually. Um, okay, I'm gonna have to think about. Other than Dr. Lily, I don't think we have a name for any of these people. And she is clearly identifiable from her entire outfit because we've seen her outfit in the future. And then the person on the far right, wearing the glasses with the white hair, I think is the other person she was talking to on the view screen. But, and yeah, but this is like the DIS team or something. So, who built this? Was it humans? I don't know. This is just giving me even more lore stuff to speculate about. So, honestly, pretty great. And I never realized you could just like arrow through all the photos without having to go back through the menu. And it cycles all the way around. So, all right. Well, more for me to think about on my own time. We don't have to. Oops, that's the wrong button. We don't have to spend all our time thinking about it right now. All right, great. But I completed a thing. I wasn't sure if that was going to steer me towards anything else to do. It's steering me toward thinking about the lore more. But I guess the next thing on my list, I'm not sure what the next thing on my list is, so let me go check. Okay, nope, I lied. We're still stuck on the photo. I spent, I don't know, like another 15 minutes looking at this photo. And there's so much going on here. So here's the photo, and it's the 8 Void Lords. Dr. Lily is Use. Then we've got Gore, the Feeble, who's yawning. We've got Mon, who we can just kind of tell by the eyes and just kind of seems a little off. We've got B, who's extremely perky all the time. We've got Ad, who looks like Gray. We've got Lev, the tall, slender one, who looks like he's conniving deviously, standing behind Ad. We've got Tan, who looks like the veteran war person who's missing the left eye. We've got Sif with the glasses. It's clearly the 8 of them. But now they appear to be scientists on the station DIS who've like created this place. And there's a few interesting things to note. One, Gore, Mon, and Lev appear to be the male characters, and the rest are female, as far as I can tell. Gore, Mon, and Lev are the real traitors, as it turns out. Although Use, Dr. Lily, I guess is also a traitor. Was she a traitor? Or was she really a sinner in the story with the Void Lords? Because they were there to judge the sins of the mortals who were coming down into Dante's Inferno. Use being kind of like the main judge person to decide where everyone goes. But Use was fascinated with sin and finally committed sin themselves, and we still don't know what that sin was. Dr. Lily has broken off from the other scientists, stolen a black box out of an alien vessel, and is trying to judge the government's actions that's trying to mess with technology they don't understand or something in the Dr. Lily ending. And it's Sif who appears on the view screen to try to, talk sense from her. And also like protect her at the same time or whatever. In this photo, Dr. Lily is the only one not looking at the camera. She's already like off going in her own direction. Um, and I mean, it's just dripping with so much implications. Why is there a team of humans who created a Dante's Inferno simulation in the future or something and injected their own personalities into the eight Void Lord characters? Or is that what happened? Did the computer take over and it's like use their bodies and their personalities to populate its own world after some horrible malfunction explosion destroyed most of the data 70,000 years ago in the future? Um, yeah, it's, oh my gosh. There is so much to think about and rationalize here yet. Um, but yeah, I couldn't just immediately go and let this go because I just took another look at it and pieced together who everybody was, and it's clearly the eight of them. Um, and yeah, just amazing how these pieces fit together. And I really have to wonder about the world building, how much of the puzzle pieces actually fit together in the developers' minds versus, oh, they just had ideas and. It doesn't matter. You can always retcon things or whatever, like how the story fits together, or you leave things dangling, and it's a work of art, and it's up to the player of the game or the viewer of the art to do the interpretation and understanding, and you're just leaving clues to really get their mental juices flowing. I don't know. But I have really enjoyed that aspect of this game being just a fun mystery, art, lore, whatever work in addition to being a great puzzle game. Um, and yeah, okay. I think I've said enough on that for now. I've put together a long list of things I still want to do in the game, so let's return to that. Oh, this does do something. Ah, so it's often the case that I'll record a few videos and then go back and watch them and kind of take notes about them. And looking back, like watching that screen again or whatever, it's like, what happens if I were to fall into that eclipse thing? And sure enough, there's more here. So I'm back here, by the way. And here we are at the end of our long journey. Dots. She turns to look at the planet. And now all of a sudden is communicating to us like Judge Zero. And we have new music. Did I say that already? I often wonder what kind of future awaits us. As our world grows older, everything feels less and less stable, despite being more connected than ever before. We can no longer reach each other, even when we desperately wish to be heard, to be understood. I've struggled a lot with this feeling like my work is meaningless. Maybe, just maybe, the fact that you made it this far means you can feel the same longing as I do. Can you hear me now? I can hear you. I hope you had fun. I definitely had fun. Thank you for playing and your time. See you in the next adventure. And then she disappears. Interesting. And I mean, that sounds like both just kind of like developer commentary on the world or whatever and their place in it. But I'm also trying to decide if it's also supposed to be voicing an actual character there. Um, yeah, I don't know. And yeah, I kind of just want to listen to a little bit more of this music. And so, in terms of like the symbolism and the lore, we like jumped through the eclipse and it brought us to Earth. Like, I still haven't figured out the meaning of that eclipsy symbol, although it also looks pretty similar to just the memory storage units or whatever, the spheres on discs. So yeah, maybe there isn't anything to read into it. I don't know. So does this just kick us back out again? Was it just that one extra scene? Interesting. We start here. So we have a shadow follower, which means the only thing I can do now is only a memory remains, right? Is there any clever mechanic I could take advantage of? There's nothing to bump. And the only things that I could pick up would be in front of me. And so I would either do that and die, but I don't see any kind of way to escape this. I just want to see what happens. Alright, I've only got 2 locust titles. Alright, I presume this will just be only a simple memory remains. And yeah, just send me back, but that's fine. We got to see a different ending to the little bonus area. Alright, so many more things on my list. What's next? Alright, well, we can actually do some stuff right from the beginning. I'd asked for a hint about the strange creatures, because I've been trying to re-witness the one on basement 20, brain 20, and there was also a strange... Oh! It said something like the light of the stars, our memories make it. There's something new here. So... endless. I'll have to go and rewatch the text. I was just scrolling through it because I thought it was just going to be the same old thing. So is this going to be another credits? It certainly sounds like credit music, but are we actually going to see credits, or we probably just saw some to get to this ending, and so maybe they're not going to show us credits again? Or maybe they are. So this is, I believe, my 6th credit sequence, and perhaps my 8th ending? I forget. I'll have to catalog them all at some point, perhaps. Alright, so that's what appears when you fill out the entire brand, without using any of the bonus brands. Presented by System Erasure. Game by these people. Music by this person. Graphics by this person. That's what happens when you fill out Lily's brand. And you fill out the whole thing as your own brand. Created with these tools. Game Maker, I guess, is the main programming tool or whatever that they were using. And I think I mentioned, yeah, like swap developers, so Zero Ranger, one person did development, and this game another person did. There's Sif. So if you use Sif's brand and nothing else, and fill out the entire 36 squares as your own brand, you would see that. Sound libraries. So yeah, I found a good recent interview. There's the Infinite Locust Idols, so that's what the brand looks like there, if that's the last brand that you've applied. Yeah, I saw a recent interview of the Zero Ranger developers, like just after Void Stranger had come out, but it was talking mostly about Zero Ranger, but talked about Void Stranger some as well, and so that was useful. To get more information, there is Void Memory. And notice that these are sitting on top of the Labyrinth background. That is the Void Stranger logo. Labyrinth, of course, being like, you know, like the Minotaur and Minos and Dante's Inferno and all that kind of stuff. There's the wings. There's also the 6 planets that we saw like circling in the bedtime story on that logo thingy or whatever. And then I guess we'll get Void Sword. And then in the corners, I'm not sure. It just looks like it's actually, those are the same corner decorations that appeared on the memory terminals when you broke behind the... Oh, wow! Okay, neat. There are statistics. That's fun. 96 hours according to this. Over 100 hours according to Steam. Oh, and it shows me my 5 fruits. I had 6 fruits. It only showed 5 there. There were 5 fruit bonuses. Oh, there's like some very... There's another brand. Maybe now I can use the System Erasure brand on the brand screen. There she goes again. I'm sorry, I've interrupted my thoughts twice. I'm gonna... She turned into Judge Zero. With a wink. And disappears. As Judge Zero mysteriously does. So when she was talking to me like telepathically before, it was Judge Zero, basically. Alright. Wow. Am I going to get a new startup screen now? Oh, this is fading away. That'll then have our, choose your language. And is the game going to close itself, or do I have to hit a button? Oh, Ad Meliora. Ad Meliora. I will look that up before I am back. So Ad Meliora, I guess, is Latin for towards better things. Oh, wait a minute. Is it 0? That doesn't look like 0, actually. And that's the broken sphere that we see in the void area. In Zero Ranger, there were 2 characters. One had shorter hair and one had longer hair. Well, neither of those 2 characters were actually Judge Zero, though. Judge Zero appears at the end of Zero Ranger when you do, like, the super best ending or something. And might have been, like, an antagonist. I didn't follow enough of the Zero Ranger lore yet enough by myself. This music is also great. But in any case, it's another Void Lord. And I think we are looking at the broken sphere as opposed to planet Earth looking back there. But it also does look like it's in outer space. I'm not sure, actually. So I presume if I press a button, yeah, it's choose your language. And so, would you like to change your settings now? I do wonder now if I use the System Erasure brand now, if something different will happen. Oh! Zero Stranger, special brand revealed. Okay, so there is another special brand. Maybe this will start me with the better rod, possibly? Yeah, I know how to use a special brand at this point, but thanks for reminding me. Like, is there actually going to be more content? That would be nuts. Okay, so I can see the brand over there. So basically it's 2 of these Tetris pieces put together. Oh, but they're in the center. So that and that. That's the one that we saw in the credit sequence there. Okay, so I have to do it twice. Question mark? Are you sure about that? Oh, I'm sure. Previously, I've not been sure. I've had no idea what's going on, but this time I'm sure. I want this. So what do I think it is? It looks like a person wearing fairy wings like a dragonfly, or possibly locust wings. Or maybe it's like Lev or Lily inside a mech suit, or I'm not sure exactly what it is. Let's just hit the button. I hope you know what you're doing. And then after that, just so I can see the brand again, I'm gonna fill out the entire screen so we get to witness it. And yeah, just see what happens at the start of the game here. So if I do this, so be it. There we go. Sorry about the garbage truck noises outside, if that's getting picked up by the microphone. What? Winter Carnival XX. Zero Stranger. Start training options, return to title. The Heavenly Kings. There's a high scoreboard. And it's the brand... there's a bunch of other brands now, too. Well, are there? Hold on. Those are actually the brands of all the Void Lords, right? It's funny that I didn't immediately recognize some of them. But I guess some of them I haven't typed in all that often. Like, is that what Tails' brand looks like? Most of the rest of them are very identifiable. Yeah, I guess so. And then there's someone in 9th place. Oh, the Empty, of course. That's Dis. Right. Okay. So there were 8 Void Lords, then there was Dis, and there was System Erasure. And so is it 10 high scores that are on the scoreboard? I just want to look more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. Okay. So those are the Heavenly Kings. Training. Sure. Start simulation. Stranger. Start simulation. Stranger 01. Weapon level 0123. Muteki. I don't know what that is. Checkpoints. And question mark. And if I go back, options. Oh, these are just the usual options. Which I guess look usual. I was not expecting to find more content here. Oh! Oh, it gives me a scoreboard, though. I was wondering about that. I had on my list of things to do to turn on... There's a step counter that you can, like, tell how many steps and how many times you've used the Void Rod in each room. And I was wondering if I had the step counter turned on, if there was any chance that it would give me scoring during the shmup. And apparently this is a way to get scoring during the shmup. Alright. I kind of don't want to do this right now. Alright, but I'm getting, like, weapon upgrade. Is it showing me what's in the upper left over next to the 0? I'm not sure exactly. I need to use my melee to block some of these attacks. So my score is just generally going up. I'm not sure if the 0, like, there might be, like, some kind of, like, combo meter or something. But I'm not getting any combos, so I'm not sure. Also, I'm taking lots of deaths, because I'm just trying to rationalize what's happening on the scoreboard. Not paying much attention. Yeah, I think I don't care to do this right now. I do wonder... Oh, look in the bottom right. I didn't notice this as well. Okay, there's something happening here. It's currently got 2 things filled up. And so... Okay, and there's Svev in the mech suit. Alright, I want to see if I can just die. These things, if you shoot them with your bullets... Okay, good, I died. If you shoot them with your bullets, they attack you, and if you hit them with melee, then they turn into orbs, I think, that are good. Game over. Okay. So this actually just treats it more like an arcade game shmup. Final results. I got 0 out of 0 somethings. It might be bombs if you destroy the orbs, like bombs go off or whatever and like hit everything on the screen. I'm not sure. And then training. Yeah, this is maybe interesting, but I'm really not interested in doing this right now. Okay. And so, and we have a brand that brings us here. So I'm going to return to title. And does this just drop me back off at a different title screen? Because we didn't have enough of them. Alright, so now we're just floating through outer space, I guess? I'm gonna wait for just a moment, just in case we do pan down to, like, planet Earth or something. But then I will press a button, and presumably it will give me 2 languages to choose from. English and Finnish. Alright, I'm gonna hit the button. Yeah. Alright. I don't want to change my settings. Am I ready? Yes. Did I earn any other brands? Probably not. Okay. But now there's 7 and there's a room for an 8th one. So I wonder if you win the shmup. If something happens. Ah. The content, it never ends. I'm trying to make my list of things to do get shorter, but it just keeps getting longer. Alright, what's next? Okay, well there's one thing I really want to do with Sif. And so we're going to do that. I happen to know that when Sif bongs the void sphere 6 times, he gets a different ending than we saw with the mortals. And so I want to witness it on screen. And it just occurred to me that I input wings because I was like, it'd be handy to have wings for doing it with Sif. And I realized Sif starts out with all the burdens and is void, and so I didn't have to worry about that. Yeah, so I will just meet you when I can hop into the HUD and we can do the thing. Actually, while we are walking, I can tell you I was starting to say at some point earlier that I got a hint about strange creatures. Because there is one on basement 20 that I haven't been able to make reappear. And there's also one I've seen on basement, I think it's 222, from watching someone else. And so I wonder if there's a strange creature in every zone. But in any case, I asked for a hint about what causes these strange creatures to appear. And the answer I got was basically, I don't remember anything about what the person said other than the word morality. And I saw that word and I immediately knew. We're going to have to go to the Court of Justice and do some bad things. Whether it be some lascivious behavior against Tail, or stealing multiple Locust idols out of the same chest. But in any case, the thing I want to do right now is, and I think Sif, if Sif walks away, like Sif will see a shadow that'll lead toward the thingy maybe, but maybe you have to start in the right direction. Well, I will take a moment and find the whatnot. Oh, yeah, here's the shadow. Okay, this should probably help us then. There is a menu setting I could change, so I could just hold down the button and have Sif walk a whole lot faster towards where we're going, but it will take more time to menu through it and do it, and then menu back, I think. So I'm just going to press the button a lot. And it feels like Sif and Bee's story seems to happen in kind of a different timeline. It's the timeline where Gray and Lily went through the tower, and that was the end of it, and Lily and her mother lived happily ever after, even though Gray was dead. The time loop plays out like normal. No one goes into the future to fight Lev, etc., etc. And then after that happens, but before it in the future or whatever, like Sif goes and rescues Bee, and that's their story. It's kind of like my interpretation of like Sif, Bee, like that whole thing or whatever. In any case, this still says the same thing when Sif talks to it. And I think this is what we were witnessing, but from a top-down perspective, in the final cutscene that we just had with the new Void Lord possibly on the screen a couple minutes ago. But in any case, suppose Sif, a Void Lord, tries to make a phone call. Okay, I know how to translate that type of text. Those are the onion monsters, and then the game just shuts down. Okay, I'm going to review that video and translate that text and let you know what I find. Oh wow, and now there's a new opening screen. Because we haven't seen enough of those. And that, it could be a Sanskrit numeral. It could be kind of like a stylistic version of like Sif's creature, whatever type of thing he was. Um, could be one of the strange creatures we've seen. Could be a lot of things. Um, but in any case, I translated that text using the Zero Ranger alphabet. It's a little hard to do because there's almost like a font to it. But in any case, it shows in the normal color our flower, and then the word Manusia were the first two things. And then the horrible onion creatures appear on the screen. And then it says destroy in white. And that was it. Our flower, I am reminded when the end of Act 1 happens. The star goes flying out of Princess Lily's belly in the credits. And we see one hand passing a flower to another. And the adventure of life goes on. That being like family bloodline, like passing down the lily flower or whatever between those two. And so our flower, I think, refers to one of the lilies. Manusia is obviously like the humans or whatever. And then destroy seems to just be like the onion creatures seem to be like, I don't know, some type of bad guy, some kind of malevolent alien force that's trying to destroy things. That we see busting in the Dr. Lily ending, and that we also see appearing in this ending. Yeah, I don't know. This game. And I presume if I hit a button, yeah, we're just back at title screen text. Okay. I think that's going to be where I'm going to call it an episode. I'm going to say I hope, as always, that you all are having a great day. And I don't know if my list grew or shrank today. I would really like to get to the point where my to-do list with this game shrinks. I've had a ton of fun with this game, but like Christmas is coming and I would like to be done with it before I go home. I don't think that's going to happen. In any case, have a great day, everybody. I'll see you when I see you.